Chapter 4, Section 11. Temperature classes of microorganisms. Turns out that microbes have a temperature preference. They refer to this as, cardinal temperatures. There's a minimum, there's a maximum, there's an optimum. Too hot, too cold, just right. And this is going to be, species to species, genus to genus. We're going to see that these numbers will be different. This is characteristic of all species, all organisms of that species. Too hot, too cold, there's a just right temperature. It goes to their metabolism. Okay, remember, that the secondary, tertiary structure of your enzymes are held together. Part of what's holding them together is hydrogen bonds, ionic interactions. You want to interfere with those, just add energy. Energy in the way of thermal energy, heat, means that if you go too hot, enzymes, proteins will denature. You go too cold, enzymatic activity will start to drop. Okay, well then let's talk the fluid mosaic of that cell's, phospholipid bilayers, cytoplasmic membrane or the outer membrane. Too hot, too cold, too hot, too fluid. Things leak in, things leak out too easily. Too cold, not fluid. Now it's more crystalline. Things can't pass through. Can't pass through in and out fast enough. Cell starts to starve. Too hot, too cold, just right. Not only enzymatically, but also for membrane fluidity. So we've artificially gone through and grouped like with like, came up with different classes based on too hot, too cold, just right. Psychrophiles, mesophiles, thermophiles, hyperthermophiles, depending upon what the just right is. Hyperthermophiles, look at that, 106 degrees Celsius. These are going to be things that want to grow in, near thermal vents. These are going to things want to grow in, hot springs. Hyperthermophiles, or thermophiles, hyperthermophiles. Sorry, thermophiles here. These are going to be growing warm water areas, okay? Maybe not quite as hot as these guys, Geobacillus stereothermophilus. 6 degrees Celsius, that's still going to be hot enough to cook us. It's going to be a slow cook, not quite the fast boil, turn you into a hot dog like this will. But, it's still too hot for us. We're the mesophiles. We would fall here because, look, 39 degrees Celsius. That's pretty darn close to our 37 degrees Celsius. 39 degrees Celsius. That seems to be the sweet spot for E. coli. I believe it's 35 degrees Celsius, the sweet spot for Staphylococcus aureus. E. coli, enteric bacteria is going to be, you want to be inside a mammalian body. Staphylococcus aureus is more of a skin microbe, so it's going to be one on the surface. The surface, your surface skin, the surface of your skin is colder than your core temperature. And then you get down here with these psychrophiles. The psychrophiles, 4 degrees Celsius. Yeah, turns out that there are microbes that are growing in your fridge right now. They're growing in there, which is why food still spoils, even in your fridge, and they are happy. There's going to be some psychrophiles that are even going to want to grow in the freezer. Listeria is one of these that's going to be a psychrophile. Listeria is the reason why they tell pregnant women to stay away from processed food, things that have to be, that are processed and have to be in the fridge. Oh my God, it's still going to make you sick. And ice cream, because it gets into the dairy products even though they're frozen, and it still remains viable. can still cause you to be sick.